check out today. Okay. It wasn't a big win, but a win is a win. And yeah, we just need four more of those wins and we get payout. So it's cool. Job's not finished. But yeah, we made 1% on the day. We're still down 1% total on the account, but definitely I'm gonna running down a dream. Definitely gonna run it up. Take it slow, following my plan. That was the biggest takeaway from today. I followed my plan and I literally stuck to one trade idea. I created a whole bias before market session. I literally followed everything that I needed to a T. That was the biggest. That has been my biggest breakthrough, I would say. And look what happens. Again, it wasn't a big win. It wasn't what, like, I'll talk about it shortly, because we were up profits over 4K. But yeah, price was just fucking around. It really was a slow day today, but definitely need to capitalize better overall on these charts and whatnot. But yeah, let's talk about today. So here, initially, right, coming into the markets, I had a bearish idea. Why did I have a bearish idea? Well, because you can see, if we zoom on in, hide everything, this was Friday's candlestick. We were bearish, so I thought, okay, and we're pretty strong bearish, right? That's a pretty large body for a bearish candle, especially in the daily time frame. So I was like, okay, price was gonna more than likely continue bearish. And then when I started to see, when I started to see this reaction over here, so wick, inverted head and shoulder, right? SMT, blah blah blah, whatever you want to call it. Again, this is just the initial reaction and then a retest and then price starts to push. I was like, this looks like price could definitely be bullish on the day. So I switched my bias from bearish to bullish. And yeah, then you can see how price had started to go higher on the day. So again, that was cool. You know, like changing my bias from bearish to bullish was pretty scary because it it was just I wasn't uncertain. I was certain about my idea for both ways. And I mean, like literally look what happened on the day. Just from New York session, we had price short heavy and then buy up heavy. So it was pretty it was pretty like two-sided today. Again, look at this wick, right, compared to the body. So, but again, this is a bullish candle. So what do we think that could happen tomorrow? Well, I think that tomorrow could be bullish, but we're going to talk about that in a second as well, in a little bit. We're just going to stick to what happened today. So again, woke up pretty early this morning, wanted to see London session. London session had pushed higher. We had made these lows around the 26,000 key level. So yeah, I saw that and I was like, okay, there's that. And then what did I see over here? Well, I saw a order block and I saw price pushing into this area. And then I was like, okay, well, I think price is going to sell here shortly. And lo and behold, like, guys, I called this shit to a T, which was, again, pat on my back. But more of a pat on my back for waiting and not taking the trade idea and waiting for my bullish trade entry to show. So again, like, that was very, very, very cool for me to see that entry and then capitalize on it. So again, literally look at how price came up, and I literally had this marked up perfectly, guys. Like, price, this was at 6 o'clock, and then 6:30 we made highs, liquidated these highs, came down, boom, boom. We not only had a liquidity sweep or a SMT, but we also had a market structure shift and then an inverse fair value gap. So yeah, then price started to push down. Now, mind you, this was a really big move. Look at that. That was over 204 pips. And then we ended up, 150 pips. So on the day, it wasn't bad. Like, I had the higher time frame idea, but we only capitalized like 50 pips maybe, which is whatever, man. It's literally whatever. We ended up profit, and I'm so happy with that, in all honesty. And not only that, but we also followed our rules exactly. we waited for our setup. So like literally, I was on a call while I was taking this entry, which was a little bit nerve wracking because not only did I want my friend to take the same trade idea as me and, hit the trade, but I also really wanted to show my process and procedure. And because I just have a small mentorship right now of a couple people, which eventually I hope to grow. I want to get better at mentoring first and really have like a solid game plan, because I've noticed that my strategy has kind of changed, especially with this Top Step account. So I've been kind of taking a step back in this mentorship, but I definitely do, want to continue the community growing aspect of this, and that's why I'm making videos, right? So you guys can follow along with the journey. But yeah, so we had this. Let me get back on track. We had price really short, and I was looking to buy. So we had this I call it tried and true area, where we had price initially react to this breaker block on the from London session lows, and then price reacted to the lows of this breaker block, and then we came back down into it, and then that's I was like, okay, I think price is going to move off this, and then we eventually did. We also had our three multiple or micro time frame confluences, which were this inverse for value gap. We had a market structure shift right here, and then we also had why can't I think of the third one? Oh yeah, the liquidity sweep, which was just price pushing into this area. So you could call that a SMT or whatever you want to call it. But then we had this inducement. So I initially entered in over here around like 2650 with a 50 pip stop below at 26,000. This was very nerve wracking. Again, I was literally on a call, FaceTime call with somebody while price was moving. So I was like, oh, don't let price hit this stop loss. And yeah, and then price started to reverse. I was like, okay, cool. That gives me lets me breathe a little once it started to really move to the upside. And then this is where I was like, okay, I want to re-enter. I want to really capitalize on this trade idea as much as possible. Where would I re-enter? And I really was letting my body, my intuition, whatever you want to call it, tell me where to enter. So once price started to be range bound in this area, I saw this inducement down here, and I was like, okay, price could potentially come below. And then once it came below and started to really wick down here, I was literally entering in down here. And then price gave us this higher low, which scared the fuck out of me. And then we returned higher, which was cool. So yeah, I mean, overall, very profitable on the day. And yeah, it was really, really, really cool to, again, follow my trade. Wait for the trade setup to form. Wait for my idea, my setup to form. So, having the bullish bias and then actually having the trade idea form and play out. It was all cool. And then, yeah, you can literally see all this, just writing stuff down front and back from today. But yeah, I mean, I followed all my rules. I was patient, had a perfect re-entry. And yeah, today was my first profitable day. But not only that, it was also my first day ever where I actually followed through with my trading plan. So that's the biggest pat on my back, because not only did I not revenge trade, but I kept it to one trade. Although it says two trades, the second trade was just a re-entry. And so yeah, again, guys, I'm just trying to be as transparent as possible so you guys can follow along on the journey. It was a cool, profitable day. Hyped, and I hope to keep the momentum going forward. So yeah, guys. Peace, you boys out. Wait, check this again. Oh yeah. Alright, peace, guys.